Hello, everyone, and welcome to the English Podcast. I'm Adam, your host for today, and I'm so happy to have you all with us. It's always a pleasure to connect with our audience from around the world. We know you're here to learn English, but we also want to make sure you're learning useful and exciting things that can help you in your personal and professional life.
Hi, everyone. I'm Julia, and I couldn't agree more with Adam. It's a wonderful opportunity to share ideas, knowledge, and practical tips with you all. Whether you're just starting to learn English or you're already confident in your skills, we're here to make your learning journey easier and more enjoyable.
That's right, Julia. And as we always say, English is not just a language, it's a key to unlocking so many doors in life. Speaking of doors, today's episode is all about opening new doors and looking at fresh opportunities. The topic we've chosen is exploring new business opportunities in 2025.
Yes, 2025 is here, and it's a year full of possibilities. There are so many exciting trends happening around the world. Whether it's technology, green businesses, e-commerce, or other innovative ideas, the business world is constantly evolving. We want to discuss how people can explore these new opportunities and what they can do to prepare for the future.
Exactly, Julia. And we want to make this discussion not only informative, but also practical for our listeners. Starting a business or exploring a new opportunity can feel overwhelming, especially if English is not your first language. But don't worry. By the end of this episode, we hope you'll feel inspired and ready to take the first steps toward your business dreams.
That's so true, Adam. And we're not doing this alone. We have a very special guest with us today, someone who has real-world experience in business and entrepreneurship. He has spent years helping people start and grow their businesses, and he's here to share his expertise with us.
Yes, let's welcome Liam. Liam is a successful business consultant and entrepreneur who has worked with people from all over the world. He's passionate about helping others turn their ideas into reality. Liam, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Adam and Julia. I'm really excited to be here. It's always a pleasure to talk about business and share ideas with people who are eager to learn and grow. I believe that 2024 is a great time for new opportunities, and I'm looking forward to sharing some practical tips and insights with your listeners.
That's fantastic, Liam. We're so glad to have you on the show. Before we dive into the topic, can you tell our audience a little more about yourself and what you do?
Of course, Julia. So, as Adam mentioned, I'm a business consultant and entrepreneur. Over the years, I've helped individuals and companies develop their business strategies, identify opportunities, and grow their ventures. My passion is helping people take their first steps into the business world, especially those who might feel unsure or overwhelmed. Starting a business is a journey, and I love being part of that journey with others.
That's amazing, Liam. I'm sure your experience and advice will be incredibly helpful for our audience today. So everyone, get ready to learn about the latest trends, strategies, and tips for exploring new business opportunities in 2025.
Yes, grab a notebook if you can, because there's going to be a lot of valuable information in this episode. Let's get started.
So, let's dive into the first segment of our discussion, which is all about why exploring new business opportunities in 2025 is so important. Now, Julia, I think we can both agree that the world is changing rapidly, and with each new year, we see fresh possibilities and challenges in the business world. But 2025 feels like an especially unique year. Would you agree?
Absolutely, Adam. I think 2025 has brought with it a wave of optimism and innovation. We're seeing advancements in technology at an unprecedented pace. And more people are starting to realize the importance of sustainability and ethical practices in business. The landscape is changing, and businesses are adapting to meet the needs of a world that is more connected and more conscious than ever before. It's almost as though the world is inviting us to think bigger, act smarter, and take bold steps toward creating something meaningful.
That's such a great way to put it, Julia. And you mentioned how the world is more connected. That's such an important point. With tools like the internet and advancements in communication, starting a business is no longer limited to your local area or even your country. You can literally reach a global audience from the comfort of your home. For example, think about how many people are selling products online, teaching courses, or offering services like graphic design or software development to clients halfway across the world. 2024 is the perfect time to take advantage of these connections.
Exactly, Adam. And let's not forget that technology itself is opening up entirely new industries. For instance, artificial intelligence is not just a trend anymore, it's a full-blown revolution. Businesses are using AI to streamline operations, personalize customer experiences, and even predict market trends. If you think about it, AI is transforming industries like healthcare, education, and even creative fields like content creation and design. And this is just one example.
It's true, Julia. Technology is absolutely reshaping the way businesses operate, and it's not just about big corporations anymore. Even small businesses and solo entrepreneurs can use tools like AI to grow faster and serve their customers better. I think 2025 is exciting because it feels like there are fewer barriers than ever before. But technology isn't the only driver of change, is it?
No, not at all. Another huge factor we're seeing in 2025 is the growing focus on sustainability. People are becoming more aware of the impact their choices have on the environment, and businesses are stepping up to meet this demand. For example, companies that focus on renewable energy, eco-friendly products, or reducing waste are gaining a lot of attention and support. Consumers are looking for brands that align with their values, and this is creating opportunities for businesses to innovate and lead the way in making the world a better place.
That's such an inspiring point, Julia. And I think this shift towards sustainability is more than just a trend. It's a necessity. Businesses that focus on green practices are not only doing the right thing for the planet, but they're also setting themselves up for long-term success. It's no longer enough to just offer a good product or service. People want to support businesses that care about the same things they do, and this is creating a whole new world of possibilities for entrepreneurs.
You're absolutely right, Adam. And I think another key trend that makes 2025 so exciting is the rise of remote work. The pandemic showed us that people can work from anywhere and still be productive, and that mindset has stuck around. Today, remote work isn't just a temporary solution. It's a new way of life. This means businesses have access to talent from all over the world, and people can start businesses without needing a physical office. For example, someone with a laptop and an internet connection can run an online store, offer freelance services, or even create a startup with a remote team.
It's amazing to think about how much the concept of work has evolved. Remote work isn't just convenient, it's also cost-effective, both for businesses and individuals. If you're starting a business in 2025, you don't have to worry about renting office space or hiring locally. You can collaborate with people from different countries and time zones, bringing together diverse skills and perspectives. It's really a game changer for anyone who's thinking about launching a new venture.
I completely agree, Adam. And if we put all of these trends together, technology, sustainability, and remote work, it's clear that 2025 is a year full of opportunities. But what's even more exciting is that these opportunities are not limited to a specific group of people. Whether you're young or old, experienced, or just starting out, there's something for everyone. The key is to stay curious, keep learning, and be willing to adapt to the changes happening around us.
That's so well said, Julia. And speaking of staying curious and learning, I think this is a great time to hear from our special guest, Liam. As a business consultant and entrepreneur, Liam has been at the forefront of helping people explore new opportunities. Liam, what are your thoughts on why 2025 is such a great year for starting something new?
Thank you, Adam and Julia. I think you've both done an excellent job of highlighting some of the biggest trends shaping the business world in 2025. From my perspective, the most exciting thing about this year is the sheer number of tools and resources available to people. You don't need a huge budget or years of experience to get started anymore. There are platforms that help you build a website in minutes, tools that handle your marketing, and communities of like-minded individuals who can support and guide you. It's an exciting time to be an entrepreneur, and I believe that with the right mindset and a little creativity, anyone can turn their ideas into reality.
That's such an inspiring perspective, Liam. I love how you mentioned the importance of having the right mindset. Sometimes, the biggest challenge isn't the lack of resources. It's the fear of taking that first step.
Absolutely, Julia. And I think that's a perfect way to wrap up this segment. To our listeners, if you've ever thought about starting a business or exploring a new opportunity, let 2024 be your year. With the trends we've discussed, technology, sustainability, and remote work, the possibilities are endless.
Yes, and remember, it's all about taking small steps and learning along the way. In our next segment, we'll talk about some specific business sectors to watch in 2025 and how you can get started.
Welcome back, everyone. In the first segment, we explored why 2025 is such an exciting year to explore new business opportunities, especially with the trends we're seeing in technology, sustainability, and remote work. Now, in this segment, we're going to take a deeper dive into some of the most popular business sectors for 2025. These sectors are not only growing rapidly, but they're also creating new possibilities for entrepreneurs and innovators to succeed.
That's right, Adam. There are several industries that are really standing out this year. Whether you're already working in one of these sectors or just thinking about diving in, it's important to understand what's driving their growth and how you can tap into these opportunities. Let's start by talking about technology, which, of course, continues to be one of the most dynamic and fast-moving sectors of the modern world. Technology is everywhere, and it's touching almost every aspect of our lives today.
Absolutely, Julia. And when we think about technology, we can't ignore the massive impact artificial intelligence has had and continues to have on the business world. AI is transforming industries at lightning speed, from automation to data analysis to personalized experiences for customers. Just think about AI in customer service. Chatbots and virtual assistants are becoming more advanced and capable of answering customer queries, solving problems, and even making recommendations. For businesses, AI can help streamline operations, make smarter decisions, and reach new markets.
Yes, AI is such a game changer, Adam. But it's not just AI that's making waves. The whole digital services and software development sector is booming. Companies around the world are constantly looking for innovative solutions to improve their digital presence. Software developers, digital marketers, cybersecurity experts, and data analysts are in high demand. If you have skills in coding, designing websites or apps, or managing data, the opportunities are endless. The world is more connected than ever before, and businesses need digital services to stay competitive and engage with customers.
Exactly, Julia. And let's not forget about the growing importance of software as a service, or SaaS. SaaS businesses offer subscription-based software solutions that help companies streamline their processes without having to manage everything in-house. For example, platforms like Zoom, Slack, and Google Drive have become essential tools for businesses everywhere. Entrepreneurs who can create solutions that help businesses become more efficient, secure, or connected will find plenty of opportunities in this field. It's definitely a sector that's worth exploring for anyone interested in technology.
It's incredible to see how much opportunity there is in the technology sector right now, and we've only scratched the surface. But of course, as much as technology is important, there's another trend that's really gaining traction: green businesses. In 2025, we're seeing more and more businesses prioritize sustainability, which is great news for our planet and for future generations. And I think we can all agree that green business isn't just a passing trend. It's something that's here to stay.
Absolutely. When we talk about green businesses, we're talking about companies that focus on renewable energy, eco-friendly products, waste reduction, and sustainability. Consumers today are more aware of their environmental impact, and they're looking for brands that share their values. Renewable energy, for example, is one of the most exciting areas of growth. Solar power, wind energy, and other forms of clean energy are becoming more accessible and cost-effective, which is opening up a whole new world of business opportunities.
Yes, and even small businesses can get involved in green initiatives. For example, companies that sell eco-friendly products like reusable bags, sustainable clothing, or biodegradable packaging are seeing a surge in demand. It's not just about offering green products, it's also about adopting sustainable business practices across the board, from reducing waste in production to choosing eco-friendly materials. And with governments and organizations pushing for greener policies, it's a sector that's only going to grow in the coming years.
It's exciting to think about the possibilities for anyone interested in making a positive impact while also building a business. And you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are so many ways to contribute to the green economy. Whether you're creating a new product, offering services to help businesses become more sustainable, or even consulting on green practices, the potential is huge. Now, Julia, I think one of the most obvious business sectors we can't leave out is e-commerce, especially in 2025.
Yes, Adam. E-commerce continues to dominate the business landscape, and it's not just for big companies anymore. In fact, online selling has become a key opportunity for small businesses, entrepreneurs, and even individuals looking to turn their passion into profit. The barriers to entry have lowered dramatically. With platforms like Shopify, Etsy, and Amazon, anyone can set up an online store and reach customers worldwide. And it's not just physical products. Services, digital goods, and even subscriptions are thriving in the e-commerce world.
That's a great point, Julia. Online selling is accessible and the opportunities are vast. If you have a product or service that you're passionate about, there's a platform out there that can help you turn it into a business. And e-commerce isn't just about selling, it's also about creating an experience for customers. Whether it's through a visually stunning website, personalized recommendations, or top-notch customer service, online businesses are looking for ways to connect with customers in more meaningful ways.
Exactly, Adam. And don't forget about the growing importance of social media in driving e-commerce success. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are no longer just for sharing personal updates. They're powerful marketing tools for businesses. Influencer marketing, live streaming sales, and social media ads are all becoming essential parts of the e-commerce strategy. It's about creating a brand presence online that resonates with customers and drives sales.
And the great thing about e-commerce is that you can scale your business quickly. You can start small with a limited product range and then expand as your customer base grows. With the right strategies, you can reach millions of people around the world and turn your online store into a thriving business.
Absolutely, Adam. And it's clear that e-commerce isn't going anywhere. With so many tools and platforms available to entrepreneurs today, the barriers to starting an online business are lower than ever. Whether you're selling physical goods, digital products, or offering a service, e-commerce is a sector full of potential.
Well, now that we've covered these exciting business sectors, I think it's the perfect time to hear from Liam. Liam, you've worked with many entrepreneurs and businesses across these sectors. What's been your experience with these trends, especially technology, green businesses, and e-commerce?
Thanks, Adam. These sectors are incredibly exciting, and I've had the privilege of working with clients in each one. In the tech world, AI and digital services have been game changers for businesses, especially small businesses looking to optimize their operations. AI is no longer just for large companies with huge budgets. It's accessible and affordable for almost any entrepreneur willing to learn. As for green businesses, I've seen a huge shift in consumer behavior. People are more willing than ever to support companies that prioritize sustainability, and this has created a fantastic opportunity for entrepreneurs to start businesses that make a real difference in the world. Whether it's renewable energy solutions, eco-friendly products, or consulting services for companies looking to go green, the possibilities are endless. And when it comes to e-commerce, I've been amazed by the creativity and innovation I see in the market. Entrepreneurs are finding new ways to sell products and services online, and the opportunities are only growing. Whether it's niche markets, subscription-based models, or leveraging social media to build a brand, E-commerce is an incredible sector for anyone looking to start a business.
Wow, Liam. Your experience really highlights how these sectors are all interconnected. It's clear that 2025 is full of opportunities for anyone willing to explore new business ventures.
Absolutely, Julia. And to our listeners, remember that these sectors are not just for experts. They're for anyone with a passion and a desire to make a difference. Whether you're thinking about starting a tech company, a green business, or an e-commerce store, the tools and resources are out there for you.
That's right. So, stay curious, keep learning, and most importantly, take action. In our next segment, we'll talk about how to take your first steps into these exciting business sectors.
Now that we've taken a deep dive into the most exciting business sectors for 2025, it's time to explore the practical steps of how to actually start your own business. You might have a great idea in mind, but how do you take that idea and turn it into a successful business? In this segment, we're going to break it down for you step by step. And of course, we'll be getting some expert advice from our special guest, Liam, who has plenty of experience guiding entrepreneurs through this very process.
That's right, Adam. Starting a new business can feel overwhelming at first, but when you approach it step by step, it becomes much more manageable. There's a common misconception that you need a massive amount of money or a huge team to start a successful business. While resources are important, the key to success lies in planning, research, and execution. So, let's start with the first and most important step: identifying a problem or need.
Absolutely, Julia. Before you even think about launching a business, you need to identify a real problem that needs solving. This is the foundation of any successful business. The most successful businesses aren't just selling products or services, they're solving problems. Whether it's a product that makes life easier, a service that improves efficiency, or a solution that addresses a gap in the market, your business idea should aim to meet a specific need.
Right, and this doesn't always mean inventing something completely new. Sometimes, a business idea can be as simple as improving an existing product or service. For example, look at the success of companies that have created more sustainable or user-friendly versions of products that already exist. The key is to identify where there is demand and what kind of problem people are facing. This is where your market research will come in. But first, you need to really think about what problems or needs exist in the world around you.
Exactly, Julia. You could start by thinking about your own experiences. What challenges do you face in your daily life that you wish someone could solve? Or you could look at trends in society and ask yourself, what are people talking about? What are they complaining about? Identifying a problem is often the first step in coming up with a business idea that has the potential to succeed.
Once you've identified a problem or need, the next step is to do thorough market research. This is where you really start to dig into the details of your idea and figure out whether it's viable. The market research phase involves finding out whether there are already businesses that are solving the same problem, how much competition you'll face, and if there's a demand for your solution.
Market research is incredibly important because it helps you avoid the pitfall of entering an oversaturated market. It also helps you understand your potential customers better. By studying your target audience, you'll get insights into their behaviors, preferences, and pain points. This allows you to tailor your product or service to fit their needs more precisely.
You can conduct market research in many ways. You might start by looking at online forums, social media groups, or customer reviews to see what people are saying about similar products or services. You can also run surveys or focus groups to get direct feedback from potential customers. Don't just focus on the numbers. Really listen to what people are saying about their problems and make sure you understand what they value in a solution.
That's such a good point, Julia. And market research isn't just about validating your idea. It's about improving it. The more feedback you can gather, the better your final product or service will be. Once you have a clear understanding of the market and your target audience, you're ready to move on to the next step: creating a business plan.
A business plan is essentially your roadmap for success. It's where you outline your business goals, your target market, your pricing strategy, and how you plan to grow your business over time. Think of it as a blueprint for your business. A well-thought-out business plan will guide you through every stage of your journey, from launching your business to scaling it up.
A business plan doesn't have to be complicated, but it should be clear and focused. At its core, your business plan should include several key components. First, you need to describe your business idea. What problem does it solve? What makes your solution unique? Then, outline your target market. Who are your customers, and how will you reach them?
Yes, and you'll also need to include financial projections in your business plan. This means estimating your startup costs, potential revenue, and expenses. You don't need to be a financial expert to do this. There are plenty of tools and templates available online that can help you create a realistic budget for your business. Having a clear understanding of your finances will help you make better decisions and attract investors if you need funding.
Another important part of your business plan is your marketing and sales strategy. How will you attract customers? Will you use social media, content marketing, email campaigns, or paid advertising? The goal here is to create a plan for how you will reach and convert your target audience into paying customers.
And don't forget about your operations plan. This part of the business plan outlines how you will run your business on a day-to-day basis. What processes will you use? How will you deliver your product or service? Will you need employees or freelancers? Getting all these details in writing will help you stay organized and keep your business running smoothly.
With a solid business plan in place, you're now ready to take the next step and start building your business. But Liam, I'd love to hear your thoughts on starting small and scaling up. So many people get overwhelmed by the idea of launching a big business right from the start, but I know you have a lot of experience helping businesses grow in stages. What advice would you give to someone who's just starting out?
Great question, Adam. Starting small is definitely the way to go, especially if you're new to entrepreneurship. It's easy to get excited and think you need to launch a massive business right away, but the reality is that most successful businesses start small and grow over time. The key is to focus on your core offering and perfect it before you expand. One piece of advice I always give my clients is to validate your idea before going all in. Start by testing it with a small group of customers. This could be through a beta version of your product, a small online store, or even offering a service to just a few clients. This will give you valuable feedback and help you refine your business model. Another important thing to remember is that scaling doesn't just happen overnight. It's about gradual growth. You don't need to have everything figured out at the beginning. What's most important is that you focus on delivering quality, building customer relationships, and keeping your operations efficient. As you gain more customers and generate revenue, you can reinvest into the business and scale up slowly.
That's such solid advice, Liam. Starting small allows you to learn from your mistakes without putting too much at risk. It also gives you the flexibility to make adjustments as you go.
Exactly. And the beauty of starting small is that you can test your ideas, tweak your approach, and only scale when you're ready. It's a smart way to build a sustainable business that can last long-term.
It's clear that the process of starting a new business is a journey, and each step plays an important role in building something meaningful. Whether it's identifying a need, doing market research, or creating a business plan, each step will get you closer to success.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone. There are so many resources available to help you along the way, whether it's mentorship, online communities, or even just friends and family who support your vision.
Absolutely, Adam. In our next segment, we'll talk about how to secure funding for your new business and some practical tips for managing your finances. Stay tuned.
Exploring new business opportunities in 2024 on the English Globe. We've talked about the exciting potential of starting a new business and how you can take the steps to get started. But every journey has its challenges. In this segment, we're going to discuss the common obstacles that new entrepreneurs face and, more importantly, how you can overcome them. We're lucky to have Liam with us today, who's going to share some of his personal experiences and insights about how to deal with these hurdles.
That's right, Adam. Starting a business may sound exciting, and it is, but it comes with its fair share of challenges. It's important to remember that you're not alone in facing these obstacles. Every successful entrepreneur has gone through struggles along the way. The key is to be prepared, learn how to manage those challenges, and stay resilient. So let's jump right in.
One of the biggest challenges that many entrepreneurs face, especially at the start, is the fear of failure. This is something that can hold people back from even starting their business in the first place. We've all heard stories of people who have amazing ideas, but they get so paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes that they never take the first step. So, Julia, let's start with that. How can entrepreneurs overcome the fear of failure?
It's so natural to feel afraid of failing. After all, you're investing your time, energy, and possibly even money into your idea. But here's the thing. Failure is not the end. It's a learning opportunity. Every successful business has faced setbacks. What sets successful entrepreneurs apart is their ability to learn from those failures, adapt, and keep moving forward.
I couldn't agree more, Julia. Failure is often seen as something negative, but when you change your mindset and see it as part of the learning process, it becomes less intimidating. When you fail, you gain valuable feedback, and that feedback is essential for improvement. It's crucial to remember that taking risks is part of being an entrepreneur. If you never take risks, you'll never learn or grow.
That's a really important point. Many entrepreneurs are afraid of losing money, reputation, or opportunities, but fear shouldn't stop you from trying. Instead of focusing on the possibility of failure, focus on what you'll learn. Ask yourself, what can I take from this experience that will make me stronger? When you embrace failure as part of the process, you start to see it as a stepping stone to success.
Yes, and one great way to deal with this fear is by starting small. Liam, you've worked with many entrepreneurs, and I know you've seen how this fear of failure can stop people in their tracks. How do you advise your clients to move past this fear and take the leap?
That's a great question, Adam. In my experience, one of the best ways to overcome the fear of failure is to set small, achievable goals. Instead of focusing on the big picture and feeling overwhelmed by the possibility of failure, break the process down into smaller steps. When you focus on completing smaller tasks, you build confidence along the way. And with each small success, you'll feel more capable and less afraid of failure. Another strategy is to change your perspective on failure. Instead of seeing it as something to avoid at all costs, start viewing it as an opportunity for growth. Even if your business doesn't succeed in the way you expect, you'll still learn valuable lessons that will help you in future ventures. It's important to remind yourself that failure is not permanent. It's simply a part of the process.
That's such a powerful mindset shift, Liam. Now, another major challenge that entrepreneurs face is managing finances. Many new business owners struggle with creating a solid financial plan, tracking cash flow, and finding the right sources of funding. Managing money can be one of the most difficult aspects of starting a business, but it's also one of the most important.
Absolutely, Julia. Without proper financial management, even the best business idea can fail. From the initial costs of launching a business to managing ongoing expenses, entrepreneurs need to have a clear understanding of their financial situation. One of the biggest challenges is making sure you have enough capital to cover your expenses in the early stages, especially when profits are slow to come in.
And it's not just about having enough money, it's about using it wisely. Budgeting and planning are key to avoiding financial stress. Many new entrepreneurs underestimate how much money they will need to get their business off the ground, and they don't plan for unexpected expenses. It's crucial to have a detailed budget and to track your spending carefully.
That's right. Another common mistake that many new business owners make is mixing personal finances with business finances. It's so important to keep your personal and business finances separate. This makes it easier to track your business expenses, file taxes, and measure your financial performance. It also protects your personal assets in case your business faces financial difficulties.
And that brings us to the next challenge: finding the right team. While many new entrepreneurs start out as solo founders, as their businesses grow, they often need to build a team. This can be a big challenge. finding the right people who share your vision, complement your skills, and help move the business forward is not always easy.
Building the right team is key to success. If you hire the wrong people, it can hold back your business. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with a strong, reliable team, you'll be able to accomplish so much more. But how do you find the right people, Liam? What advice would you give to new entrepreneurs looking to build their team?
Great question, Adam. When it comes to building a team, my advice is to hire for complementary skills. You don't want to hire people who are just like you. Instead, look for individuals who bring different skills and perspectives to the table. This will give your business a more well-rounded foundation. I also recommend taking your time when hiring. It's tempting to rush the process, but finding the right fit is crucial. Look for people who are not only qualified, but also passionate about your mission. They should be people who believe in your vision and are committed to helping your business succeed.
It's important to remember that building a team doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process, and you'll need to continually assess and adjust as your business grows.
That's great advice, Liam. Surrounding yourself with the right people and being smart about managing your finances are two of the most important steps in overcoming challenges.
We've talked about some big challenges that new entrepreneurs face, but it's also worth noting that challenges are opportunities in disguise. Every obstacle you encounter is a chance to learn and grow as a business owner.
Absolutely. The journey may be tough, but with the right mindset and support, you can overcome anything.
In the next segment, we'll talk about how to scale your business and take it to the next level.
Welcome back to the English Globe, where today we're diving deep into the world of new business opportunities in 2025. So far, we've explored various facets of starting a business, the challenges you'll face, and how to overcome them. But one aspect we haven't touched on yet is the importance of a skill that can make a huge difference in your business journey: the ability to communicate effectively in English. We all know that in today's globalized world, English has become the dominant language for international business, and in this segment, we're going to explore why learning English is so crucial for business success.
That's absolutely right, Adam. English is more than just a language. It's a tool that connects people across countries, cultures, and industries. As businesses expand globally and enter new markets, the need to communicate clearly and confidently in English is more important than ever. Whether you're negotiating with international clients, pitching your business idea to investors, or promoting your product in different parts of the world, English has become the language of choice for business communication. So, Liam, in your experience, how important is learning English for business owners who want to succeed on a global scale?
Well, Julia, I can tell you from firsthand experience that English plays a critical role in almost every aspect of business today. If you want to connect with people from different countries, if you want to establish international partnerships, or if you want to market your products or services to a global audience, being proficient in English is not just helpful, it's essential. In fact, many successful entrepreneurs I know have built their businesses globally, and they all have one thing in common: they're comfortable communicating in English. This allows them to reach a much broader audience, create stronger relationships with international partners, and access opportunities that would otherwise be out of reach.
That's such an important point, Liam. The ability to communicate in English opens up a world of possibilities. As we've seen in the digital age, many business transactions, meetings, and collaborations are conducted online, and often the medium of communication is English. For example, if you want to join an international webinar or attend a global conference, most likely the discussions will be held in English. If you're unable to understand or express yourself clearly, it can limit your opportunities significantly.
Exactly, Julia. And it's not just about speaking English, it's about being able to use English effectively in different business contexts. Whether it's sending an email to a client in New York, pitching your startup idea to investors in London, or participating in a virtual meeting with colleagues in Tokyo, having a solid understanding of English enables you to express yourself professionally, make a positive impression, and ensure that you're understood clearly. In fact, many entrepreneurs who have mastered English say that it has given them the confidence to approach potential clients and partners in countries where they don't speak the native language.
Absolutely. And on top of that, English isn't just crucial for one-on-one communication or meetings. It's also key to the entire marketing and branding process. Think about it. Businesses that want to sell their products or services globally need to communicate their value proposition in a way that resonates with a diverse audience. English allows you to market your business effectively on international platforms, from social media to websites and advertisements. When you can communicate your message in English, you can access a much wider audience and increase the potential for global sales.
That's a great point, Julia. English is often the standard for content in the business world, especially in digital marketing. Whether you're writing blog posts, creating social media content, designing an ad campaign, or even producing video content, English is the language that allows you to reach a larger audience. For example, when I was launching one of my businesses, I realized that if I only targeted local markets, I would limit the growth potential of my company. By creating content in English, I was able to tap into global markets, expand my reach, and connect with customers who spoke different languages.
Wow, that's really insightful, Liam. English is truly the bridge that connects entrepreneurs and businesses with the rest of the world. And in terms of networking, knowing English can also be a game changer. As an entrepreneur, networking is one of the most valuable tools for success. And when you can network in English, the number of potential connections you can make increases exponentially. Whether it's attending an international trade show, engaging with investors or customers online, or simply building relationships with other entrepreneurs from around the world, being able to communicate confidently in English helps you build your network faster and more effectively.
Exactly, Adam. Think about all the platforms where networking happens today: LinkedIn, global business conferences, and even online communities. These spaces are often dominated by English, and without the ability to understand and speak the language, it can be incredibly challenging to establish meaningful connections. It's not just about speaking well, it's about understanding the business culture, the terminology, and the expectations that are often conveyed in English.
I agree, Julia. Networking isn't just about speaking the same language. It's also about understanding the nuances of business communication in that language. When you're networking in English, you need to know how to approach people, how to introduce yourself, and how to engage in business conversations professionally. English also gives you access to a wealth of knowledge from successful entrepreneurs and business leaders around the world, many of whom share their insights in English language books, podcasts, and articles.
That's a great point, Liam. English truly opens up a treasure trove of knowledge and resources that can help entrepreneurs stay ahead of the competition. For example, there are countless business books, case studies, and online courses in English that teach critical skills like leadership, finance, and digital marketing. If you're not comfortable with the language, you might miss out on learning from some of the best minds in business.
Exactly. And English also plays a role in building your reputation in the business world. Being able to communicate clearly in English demonstrates professionalism and credibility, which can help you gain the trust of clients, investors, and partners. It's not just about speaking the language, it's about showing that you have the expertise and knowledge to succeed in a global market.
And don't forget about customer service. When you're managing a global business, customer service is a huge part of success. If you're able to communicate well in English, you can address customer inquiries, resolve issues, and build strong relationships with customers from different parts of the world. This not only boosts customer satisfaction, but also helps you create a positive reputation for your business.
So true, Liam. From networking to marketing and even customer service, English plays an integral role in business success. Whether you're starting a small business or aiming to take your business to the next level, the ability to communicate in English is a powerful tool that can help you break barriers, open doors, and access opportunities that would otherwise be out of reach.
And the best part is that learning English doesn't have to be intimidating. With the right resources, practice, and mindset, anyone can improve their English skills and use them to boost their business prospects. In the next segment, we'll share some practical tips for how you can start improving your English for business today.
We've already explored how essential English is for business success, especially in today's global market. Now in this segment, we're going to dive into some practical tips and strategies on how you can start improving your English for business purposes. Whether you're a beginner or looking to refine your skills, English doesn't have to be a challenge. It can be a rewarding journey if you approach it the right way. So, Liam, as a business consultant, I'm sure you've seen how important it is to not only know the basics of English, but to also keep improving your skills. What are some practical steps someone can take to improve their English in a business context?
Great question, Adam. There are a lot of ways to improve your English, but when it comes to business, the key is to focus on real-world applications. English is a tool, so you need to use it in the kinds of situations you'll face in business, such as meetings, negotiations, and presentations. One of the first steps is to immerse yourself in the language. The more you expose yourself to English, the faster you'll improve. Start by reading business-related materials in English, such as articles, news, and reports. This will not only expand your vocabulary, but also give you insights into the language used in your industry.
That's such a valuable tip, Liam. And it's great that we're talking about real-world applications because, in business, the language you use can make all the difference. Another strategy is to focus on business English. This refers to the specific language used in the business world, which can sometimes differ from casual, everyday English. For example, when you're learning business English, you'll encounter terms like ROI, return on investment, synergy, and scalability, which are crucial for discussing business ideas and concepts. There are many resources like online courses and apps that focus specifically on business English. You can even listen to business podcasts, watch videos, or attend webinars to get more familiar with business-specific vocabulary.
That's right, Julia. And let's not forget the power of practice. A great way to practice is through role-playing. If you're preparing for a business meeting, a presentation, or even a phone call, try practicing the conversation beforehand. Find a partner, or even use language exchange apps, where you can talk with people who speak English. You can role-play different business scenarios like introducing your company, making sales pitches, or discussing strategies. By practicing these real-world conversations, you'll get more comfortable using English in business settings, and you'll be able to focus less on the language and more on the content of what you're saying.
Absolutely. And one thing I always recommend to my clients is to work on their listening skills. In business, much of the communication you'll have will be in the form of phone calls, video conferences, or meetings, where you need to listen and respond quickly. It can be tough at first, especially if the person you're speaking with has a strong accent or speaks quickly. So, I suggest listening to podcasts, watching business-related videos, or even TED Talks in English. This will help you get used to different accents, speech speeds, and business vocabulary. The more you listen, the easier it will be to understand and respond confidently.
That's such an important point, Liam. Listening is a skill that many people overlook, but in business, it's key to understanding your clients, partners, and team members. And for those who may feel nervous about speaking English in business settings, remember that confidence is key. It's normal to make mistakes, and it's okay to ask for clarification if you don't understand something. What matters is that you're taking the steps to communicate and improve. One thing that's really helpful is writing down phrases that you'll likely use in meetings or emails. If you have these phrases ready, you'll feel more confident when the time comes to use them.
That's such great advice, Julia. And don't forget about writing skills. They're just as important as speaking skills. Whether it's sending emails to clients, writing reports, or creating proposals, good writing can make a strong impression. When it comes to business writing, be clear, concise, and professional. Avoid slang or overly complex language. One tip I always give is to try and simplify your sentences as much as possible while still getting your point across. It's not about writing long, complicated paragraphs. It's about clear communication. For example, instead of saying, "I would like to kindly inform you that I am reaching out to you to discuss the matters regarding our upcoming meeting," you could say, "I'm contacting you to discuss our upcoming meeting."
I agree, Adam. Clear writing can make a big difference, And remember that when you're writing in business English, using the correct tone is important as well. A polite tone can go a long way in establishing good relationships. So, I recommend practicing writing business emails, reports, or even messages to your team or customers. And if you're unsure about your writing, use tools like grammar checkers to ensure you're not making any simple mistakes. Eventually, you'll get the hang of it, and the more you practice, the easier it will become.
And we can't forget the power of feedback. If you have an English-speaking mentor, a business partner, or even a colleague who is fluent in English, ask them to give you feedback on your communication. Sometimes you might not realize small mistakes that could affect your business image. Feedback helps you grow, and it's a great way to improve both your speaking and writing skills.
That's fantastic advice, Julia. And Liam, I'd love to hear your thoughts on something. When it comes to mastering business English, do you think it's more about quantity or quality? Should people focus on learning as many new words and phrases as they can? Or should they really take their time and focus on mastering a smaller set of key business terms?
That's a great question, Adam. In my experience, it's more about quality. It's better to master a smaller set of key business terms that you'll use frequently than to overwhelm yourself with trying to learn too many words at once. The key is to practice those words and phrases in real business scenarios. That way, you'll not only remember them, but also be able to use them confidently when you need them. So focus on mastering the essentials first, like basic business vocabulary, common phrases for meetings and email etiquette, and gradually expand your knowledge from there.
I think we can all agree that consistency is the secret to success. Learning English for business may take time, but the more consistent you are in practicing and applying what you've learned, the faster you'll improve. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about making progress and using English as a tool to grow your business.
Absolutely. So, for all our listeners out there, remember that improving your English for business doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, but with the right resources, consistent practice, and a positive mindset, you'll get there. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, ask for feedback, and keep pushing yourself to use English in real-life business situations.
Well said, Adam. And that brings us to the end of today's segment on practical tips for improving your English for business. In the next segment, we'll be sharing some resources and tools that can help you on your journey to mastering business English.
And that brings us to the end of today's episode on exploring new business opportunities in 2025. It's been an incredible journey through this topic, and I hope all of you, our listeners, have found valuable insights that will help you navigate the exciting and sometimes challenging world of business. Let's take a moment to recap some of the key takeaways from today's discussion.
First of all, we learned that 2025 is a fantastic year to explore new business opportunities. The world is changing rapidly, and there are new trends in technology, sustainability, and remote work that make this a great time to start something fresh. Whether you're looking to launch a tech startup, build a green business, or dive into e-commerce, the possibilities are truly endless. The key is to stay aware of these trends and adapt to the needs of the market.
That's right, Julia. And another major point that stood out today is how important it is to start small and scale up. Sometimes we get overwhelmed by the idea of starting a business, but Liam reminded us that taking one step at a time is essential. Start with a solid idea, test it, and grow gradually. You don't need to have everything figured out from day one, but you do need to take that first step and keep moving forward.
And of course, one of the biggest lessons we discussed was the importance of learning and improving your English for business. In today's global market, English is the language of business communication. It's not just about learning the language, it's about using it effectively to connect with people, negotiate deals, and expand your business globally. Whether it's speaking, listening, or writing, practicing your English will pay off in a big way when it comes to achieving business success.
Exactly. We also covered some of the challenges that new entrepreneurs face, from overcoming the fear of failure to managing finances and building the right team. But the key message there was that every challenge can be overcome with the right mindset, support, and resources. It's important to be persistent and keep learning as you go.
And let's not forget the practical tips we shared for improving your English skills. From immersing yourself in business-related content to practicing real-life scenarios, using English regularly in a business context is the best way to improve. Don't be afraid to ask for feedback and make adjustments as you go along. It's all about making progress, not striving for perfection.
Absolutely. Now, Liam, as we wrap up this podcast, we'd love to hear any final thoughts or advice you have for our listeners. What would you say is the most important thing for someone who's thinking about starting a business in 2025? And how can they overcome the challenges that come with it?
Well, Adam, I'd say that the most important thing is to stay adaptable. The business world is constantly evolving, and 2025 is no exception. Whether it's new technology or changes in consumer behavior, it's crucial to be flexible and willing to pivot when necessary. Don't be afraid to fail, because every failure is a lesson that brings you closer to success. And remember, the journey to building a successful business isn't easy, but if you have passion, persistence, and a willingness to learn, you can overcome any challenge. Keep educating yourself, keep improving your skills, and most importantly, keep moving forward. That's the key to success in business and in life.
What fantastic advice, Liam. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today. Your insights have been incredibly valuable, and I'm sure our listeners have learned a lot about how to approach starting a business in 2025 and how to succeed in the global market.
Yes, thank you, Liam. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast. We've covered so much today, and I know our audience will be inspired to take action and start exploring new business opportunities. You've provided so much helpful information that will surely guide them as they take their first steps in the business world.
And thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in today. We truly appreciate your support, and we hope you found today's podcast both informative and motivating. Remember, starting a business may seem daunting, but as we've discussed today, with the right mindset, planning, and resources, you can turn your ideas into reality.
Absolutely. Whether you're thinking about launching a new business in technology, renewable energy, e-commerce, or any other sector, the key is to stay focused, continue learning, and most importantly, never give up. We wish you all the best as you explore new opportunities, and we hope to see many of you succeed in 2025 and beyond.
Before we say goodbye, I just want to remind you all to stay connected with us. You can follow us on social media and keep an eye out for our next podcast episode, where we'll dive into even more topics related to business and personal growth. We're always here to help you on your journey to success.
That's right, Julia. Thank you again to our special guest, Liam, for being with us today, and thank you to our wonderful listeners. We can't wait to connect with you all again soon. Stay motivated, stay inspired, and remember, every new business idea starts with a single step forward.
Thank you, everyone. We look forward to hearing about your entrepreneurial adventures, and we'll be back soon with another exciting episode. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep reaching for the stars.